There are some industries that are not that regulated. I'm wondering what you think about tech right now, because you have these companies that are more powerful than ever before. They've got everything, all this data on us. They're selling the data. Should the tech companies be more regulated?
Well, I guess some people talk about freedom and other people talk about we want to know who's taking ads or doing whatever. And I would imagine something's going to come down along the line like we're doing right now for regular, whether it's a commercial or not, for a normal broadcast company. It'll be very interesting to see. That's an argument that's happening right now. Okay. It'll be very interesting to see there are two very distinct views on that. Honestly, I can go either way on it.
Mr. President, who do you want to see running the Fed?
Well, as you know, I've been seeing a number of people, and most people are saying it's down to two, Mr. Taylor, Mr. Powell. I also met with Janet Yellen, who I like a lot. I really like her a lot. So I have three people that I'm looking at, and there are a couple of others. I'd say I will make my decision very shortly, pretty shortly.
Isn't there a way that you can get Taylor and Powell in there? Because you've got a vice chairman opening as well. You can actually put them both in there. Is that in your thinking?
It is in my thinking, and I have a couple of other things in my thinking, but I like talent, and they're both very talented people. And it's a hard decision. It's actually a very, very important decision. Most people have no idea how important that position is. That position is actually more. A lot of people say get rid of the Fed, take the Fed out. The Fed's a very important position. It's also important psychologically. If the right person is in there, a lot of good things can happen. I think I'm doing a good job for businesses that way. People are coming into the country. You saw what happened with Foxconn going to Wisconsin. You see what's happening with Apple, where they're going to. I said to Tim Cook, Tim, I want some of those big, beautiful plants that I see in China. They have to open in this country. You got to give me some big, beautiful plants. It's happening. It's all happening. The auto companies are coming back into our country, coming up to Michigan again. They're going back. We're not going to be taken advantage of. We were taken advantage of by, I wouldn't say the companies so much, but by other countries. We were so badly taken advantage of. As you know, we're negotiating with NAFTA, and they have an election right now and lots of things, but at some point, either NAFTA will be renegotiated so that it's fair to the United States, or it will be terminated. It's very simple. People think that's a very tough statement, but it will probably be renegotiated. But if it's not successfully renegotiated so it's fair for the United States, it will be terminated.
Look, you had a very good victory in terms of the Senate vote on the budget. I know that. But you've had all this money going out, new money that people weren't expected, right? You have money now going to California with the wildfires, Puerto Rico, Texas, Florida. Then you've got defense. You want to build up the military. You've said many times President Obama underfunded defense. Where does this money come from, and how are you going to get control longer term of the debt and deficit in this country? When is that conversation going to pick up?
Well, it's going to be all growth. Look, it's going to be growth. I think the growth can be staggering. I also think we have a lot of waste in this country, and we'll be doing other things. We will be doing welfare reform. I mean, that's coming up, okay? And whether people like it or not, people don't like having a house and working 3 jobs and having somebody nearby where, they're living better than the person with the 3 jobs. It's not fair. And that's all coming up. Believe me, that's going to be out there very soon. I want to get the taxes first. I want to get health care. We're doing a big infrastructure bill, which will be a very positive thing.
Are you going to tie that to the tax plan? But we're going to have tremendous
growth.
Are you going to tie the infrastructure?
I could tie it. I was thinking about tying it, but there's too many. Honestly, you lose a few votes, you gain a few votes. I don't want to take any chances because I feel we have the votes right now the way it is. So the tax will come up, the infrastructure will come up, the health care will come up. I have an economic development plan that I'd like to propose that I think would be very, very, very good for our country. I think the growth in this country is going to be tremendous. I think we have tremendous potential. It's hard to believe because, it's been going for a long time. But the waste, the trade deals we have that are so bad, the money you're talking about is peanuts compared to the trade deals. We lose with Mexico almost 70, in terms of trade deficits, almost $70 billion a year. We lose with China hundreds of billions of dollars a year. We lose with almost every country. If you look, there's hardly a country, I can name 2, and it's tiny surpluses, tiny. We lose with almost every country. We have massive deficits, and that's going to change. We can't allow the world to look at us as a whipping post. It's not going to happen anymore.
Are you going to remove the budget caps in terms of defense spending?
Well, I want to do it because the one thing we have to do is we have to spend on defense. This is a very rough time out there. I was left a mess, whether people like it or not, and we can say it in different ways. I was left a mess, whether it was North Korea or the Middle East, where we have made more progress against ISIS. Literally, Maria, we have made more progress against ISIS in the last 9 months than in the last 8 years, as you know. I mean, as everybody
Well,
knows.
you've had tough talk on everybody.
Well, it's not a question of tough talk. We've also produced. I mean, the Middle East it's a whole different ballgame right now as far as ISIS is concerned. But we have to. We are in a world. There's a lot of hatred in this world. There's a lot of hatred toward us in this world. We need a strong military, stronger than ever before, and we're going to have that. So I do want to get rid of the caps, at least at some point in the near future.